Hey guys, it's Nurse J at Nursing the Truth. I hope everyone's having a great day. So, sorry for the plain backdrop, but Nurse J wanted to sit in her comfortable little recliner in her little sitting area. So, anyway, thank you for stopping by. And if this is your first time stopping on my channel, just want to let you know, don't get too offended because I do talk about some really hot topics. Compare and contrast of religions, and I talk a lot about Egyptian spirituality. So, if you are a Christian and you have stopped by my channel, you will learn a lot of things. Which I am an ex Christian. I did not say I was an atheist or anything like that, or a demon worshiper or a witch, as some people have called me. But I know that the kingdom is within myself. So stick around. So, anyway, today I will not, at this particular video, talk about Egypt right now. What I am going to talk about are some of the things that are happening in our country right now. So, really, we need to be aware of what's going on, because if we don't start collectively getting together and talking about certain things, history is doomed to repeat itself. So, the Zionist communist takeover of America, what does that really mean for us? And do we really know who they are? January the 10th of 1963, the House of Representatives and later the Senate began reviewing a document entitled Communist Goals for Taking Over America. It contained 45 different separate issues and agendas and attacks and techniques that, in hindsight, were quite shocking then and equally stunning as of today. Over the last 50 years since the list was introduced in the House, many things have changed, among them that the Soviet Union is gone and communism isn't mentioned by the control, mainstream, lamestream, fake news media anymore. And why? Because the founders of communism, World Zionism, is now the dominant force in the Western world and controls virtually every major geopolitical, social, cultural, and commercial aspect of our existence. Most importantly, about 27 out of the 45 communist Zionist goals of the takeover of America on the original list have been or have already been achieved. The remaining 27 items, it will shock you. It is essential to also understand that World Zionism created communism, took down Russia, set up the Soviet Union, and created 2 world wars in which over 100 million people died. Whether the term is communism, Bolshevism, socialism, fascism, Marxism, they all emanate from one source, and that's Zionism. This must never be forgotten. So now, as I read through the list, understand and never forget that these goals, most now 100% are implemented, are the Zionist goals. Here in part are most blatant Zionist communist achievements listed in the original list of the 45 goals. I'm going to read this to you very carefully. These are the most sweeping, revolutionary, devastating, and deadly goals on the list from 1963. I'm going to read some of them. This is their goal. permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliations and regardless of whether or not items could be used for war. Promote the United Nations as the only hope for mankind. Screw your United Nations. We have only one United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under the kingdom of God within us. That is your United States of America. Do away with all loyalty oaths. Well, what? You want us to be non-loyal to our allies? Oh, but wait. Yes, that's what you would like. Stabbing the old Jack in the back. Sorry, friends. This nurse tells it like it is. And I live for truth. Capture one or both of the political parties in the United States. Now, these Zionists, and the first letter of the other part of their name starts with a J, but see, I don't want to get tagged per se by the AI saying that I'm a AS, if you can read between the lines. Now, they want to capture one or both. Oh, they've done a great job with the Democratic Party. Soros. But, they've crept into the Republican Party too. So basically, I guess they have taken both of the parties. Moving along. Use technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming their activities and violate civil rights. Trample on us like we're cattle and that we're going to be led to the FEMA camps, sheeps to slaughter, and the millions of the guillotines and the coffins you have ready for us. But you know what? This is a material body. And the spark of the divine, the truth, is within us. You can try to do whatever you want to do. It's okay. But I will go down with the ship of truth, righteousness, and wisdom. The almighty creative force. That's okay. Get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Really? So now you Zionists are creeping into the schools, into our children's brains, along with the crappy school food that you want to put GMOs and chemicals and dyes in. And you want to make them little commies. And then you want to soften the curriculum. Oh, that's a plus, right? All you teachers that land on my channel, I hope this is rubbing you the wrong way. Because we're not even on the top 10 list of the education, but who is on the top 10? Figure it out. They want to control the teachers' associations. You know why? Because most of the teachers think logically, systematically. And they don't want that. They want good, decent teachers and mothers and, law abiding citizens. They want to destroy them. And they want to put the party lines in the textbooks. Don't we see enough of that? They want to control all the student newspapers. They're going to use student riots to foment public protest against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. Oh, do you not see what's going on television right now through this propaganda? My advice to you is to turn off your televisions. Don't watch television at all. But watch the cryptic little Illuminati movies. Projective programming at its finest. So then you'll know the next step of the enemy. But see, they want the divine life source. Watch The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance on Netflix. It will blow your pineal gland. Now they want to infiltrate the press, get control of book review assignments, editorial writing, policy making positions. Do you not see that this is what's happened already? They, the little Zionists, and I will call you out for what you are. I have no problem. I have no problem with you. I don't care. We know what's happened to every country that your nasty little filthy, dirty, loathing hands and the money changers has been into. And we know that you've been kicked out everywhere that you've been. So now you infiltrate the United States of America. You use the news, fake news, to push propaganda. And you change and you erase the real writings for your false narratives. Then you can now gain control over key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. Fox, Paramount, Columbia, Universal Studios, Disney, and the list goes on and on that you own. You creep bags, and then you have this filthy crap that you want to give to our kids. But thanks for giving me the cryptic information. But see, because people that aren't asleep can decipher it. And I think it's hilarious. But be not afraid, children. Then they also now want to say continue discrediting the American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculptures from parks and buildings and substitute shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. You mean like abstract crap? Things that you can't even figure out? Make us deaf, dumb, and blind. Frick you and the horse and buggy you rode on. So, America, it's time to stand up on your 2 feet. It's time to shake the dust and pull your bootstraps up because you are fighting the enemy. It's not hidden. It's hidden in plain sight. They want to control art critics and directors of the museums. They say our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsive, and meaningless art. You mean like sacrifice children and little children tied up in Tony Podesta's house? Freaks. I'll call it like I see it. And I have no problem with you, freak. You know, freaks, light shines upon the darkness. And in Revelation, all things will be revealed. And this age of enlightenment will shine upon the darkness, and truth will always reign, you dirt bags. And then they say now on the paper, eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. They also say they want to break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography, obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. You know, they're doing a great job, these little Zionists, doing that. I can't even sit there and watch a show on TV without talking about condoms or showing crap in the bed. I'm so sick of these people and our little children running around that are like 7, 8, and 9. They don't even need to know about this stuff. And they ask questions, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I've never seen anything like this when I was a child. Then they say they want to promote homosexuality, promiscuity, that it's normal and it's healthy. And they want to make us degenerate. They want to discredit the Constitution by calling it inadequate, old-fashioned, and out of step with modern needs and a hindrance. They want to discredit the American Constitution. Why don't you go tell that to the hundreds and thousands of people that died fighting these damn British monarchs that were my ancestors as well. They also said that they want to belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history on the ground that it was only a minor part of the big picture. Give more emphasis to Russian history since the communists took over. Why don't you do your research about how the little Jays crept into Russia and pretended they were Russian? Why don't you do that? Why don't you read upon Lenin, Trotsky, Stalin? Why don't you read about the Zionist Jews that were the generals and lieutenants in the Russian army? Does that make sense? Bring her in and shut the door, please. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, guys, I had an interruption, as usual. So, Then they always said support any socialist movement to give centralized control over any part of the culture, education, agencies, welfare programs, mental health clinics, and so forth. So now they want to creep in under socialist views under every single department that we have. Do you not see what they're even trying to do with the police force? That is total takeover. What? So the UN can drive in and pile down in every city? You better start thinking, people. Infiltrate and gain control of big businesses. Oh boy, have they done that. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, AT&T. Whole 9 yards. They own it. They issue it. And this is what I was talking about. This is now. Listen to me. Right now. Transfer some of the powers of arrest from the police to social agencies. You know what? You can suck freaking eggs. You make me sick. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to defund the police. Oh, New York, you make me freaking sick. You want to take from the police, and then you're going to go, oh, we're going to defund you, Minnesota, and then we're going to give it to social agencies, and then treat all behavioral problems as psychiatric disorders, which no one but physicians or psychiatrists can understand or treat. So treat all behavioral problems, dope you up, give you medicines, give you shots, and you're on your way out of here, people. You better listen, and you better take heed, because time's running out very fast. Dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as a means of gaining coercive control over those who oppose communist goals. Let me read that one more time for the ones that are Democrats. Dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as a means of gaining coercive control over those who oppose communist goals. Discredit the family as an institution. What? Discredit the family as an institution? You mean, oh, that's right. A mom, a dad, and a child are not a group or a trinity. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to take away the mother and put a man in her place. So there's going to be two men, or there's going to be two women, or there's going to be a transgender, or whatever. Whatever you do is your deal. But I'm just telling you, this is their plan. They are trying to break down the family unit to where a family is no longer an institution. No moral rights, no family time. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about America. And they sure as hell don't give a damn about themselves. And they encourage being loose and getting divorces easily. Oh, well, that's been going on. Now they emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. So now you're saying that the parents are a negative influence on the children. Where is this coming from when the parents are supposed to be the positive influence on their children? They also want to make prejudiced, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. They want to attribute those. Then they want to say, create the impression that violence and insurrection are legitimate aspects of the American tradition, and that students and special interest groups should rise up and use united force to solve economic, political, or social problems. Yeah, well, we know about you. We know all about the stuff that you're doing behind the scenes. They want to create violence. But you see, if you're black and you're on my channel, I have to tell you something. Check this out. Research. And, you know, I'm not in any religion, but I do listen to different aspects of the different religions. You may not agree with Louis Farrakhan. Okay, I do know that he's had some issues as well. We won't go there. But the Nation of Islam has written several books about, you know, the Zionist and world domination, and about really who enslaved you. Your ancestors, of course. Tough topic. And I mean, really listen to me when I tell you this, because you need to know your history. So, the situation is at hand of what's going on in the world, whether it be Seattle, Minneapolis, New York, Florida, wherever. And you're fighting against the average white person, right? Okay, the blacks and whites and Mexicans are all fighting. Party lines, whatever. We're called the white devils. We're called crackers. We're called, we're masquerade and the light and all that kind of stuff. The very thing that these people are doing for Antifa, BLM, all these other kind of groups, those are the same people that enslaved your ancestors. So the people now, they're getting paid by those Zionists. They enslaved your ancestors. They made ships called the Jesus in Palestine. Bought and paid your ancestors to come here. Then, when they got here, they put them on plantations that they owned. Okay? So, you were cattle, you were livestock. Your ancestors were. And then they own New York, and it's called the New York Stock Exchange. So your ancestors were put on the showboat at the New York Stock Exchange. It has not a damn thing to do with stocks and bonds. Oh, yeah, it does. Stocks and bonds of humanity. People are fighting against the wrong people. People in general want to be collective. We're fighting against the wrong people. People that they should be fighting against are the people that enslaved their ancestors, that own every major corporation, every movie house, every bank. It's disgusting. They're in Congress. They've been in the White House. They've been in the Senate. They've been in all your city councils. This web, this deceit is real. So, saying, don't be mad at the regular white person. Two more and I'll be finished with this trash. They want to import anti-white racists from the third world. Haven't you seen that over the years? Like coming through Germany, Turkey, Syria. This is in 1963. And my dog is going off again. Stop it, Sonny. This paper was written in 1963 and was read in the House of Representatives, and the Senate has this too. It's on documents. This is sick. They want these anti-white racists from the third world. Stop it, dog. I'm sorry, guys. She is acting up today. From the third world, through an open border policy, then force their integration to divide and conquer white Western civilization in North America. Do you not see that? Then, feminizing men and disarm both the citizens and the military, and especially disarm white males. Read that again. Feminize men, make them gay, transgender so they don't have children with regular women, disarm both citizens and the military, and especially the white males. Because you know why? Southern white men know how to shoot, and they are excellent marksmen. Some of the finest ever. And I do not support slavery. But I can tell you, the people under Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson will shoot you right in between the damn eyes and won't blink. Come to the South and you'll see how it's done. Creep in and you'll find what you're looking for. Hotep and Ashe. And I hope you have enjoyed this enlightening video. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends and family, because the stuff is about to get real. Have a great day.